Hello everyone, so welcome to my channel, and here's today's cheat code daily challenge, that is perfect square. So basically, this is the question. So this is the question here, where we are given with an integer n and return the least number of perfect square numbers that sum to n. So we need to return minimum count of square numbers which could add up to make the given number. The way we were given with a number here means this 12, and we were required to return this 3. And this 3, how we were returning that? Because 12 was made up of 3 square numbers, which is 444. Here, then the number is 13, we were required to return 2, where 13 was made up of 2 square numbers, that is 4 and 9. So this is what we need to do in this question. So as per this question, we are required to check for all possible options that could add up to give a number. Thus, it would be better to use a recursion here because we need to find out all the possible options. Now comes the next part. For solving this question, we need to think the way we used to think when we were a kid and worked on number lines. So like that way, when n is equal to 12, so we simply need to create a number line and check out that at what breakpoints we are required to make here. Like so in this number line, if we make 3 breakpoints, each would be formed by 444, in which 4 is the perfect square, and this would be the minimum count which we could return when we are given with 12 as a number, and all the breakpoints are at those positions which have gap of 4. And this 4 is here a perfect square number. But better way to think about this would be in terms of making a recursion tree, that at what point we are required to break it. So let's take this example 12 only. So how we can think about it? We have option that we start from 1 because 1 is the first perfect square. Then we will be going with 2 because 2 into 2, then we will simply go into 2. And then 3, and then we'll check that till what number, means it should be less than n only. Here n is simply 12, and here I is whatever number we are taking, but the condition is if I into I should be less than or equal to 12. So here we are stopping till 3 because 3 into 3 is 9, and when we go to 4, it becomes 16, which is greater than 12, right? So we need to stop here only. That's why we have 3 options, that we would be starting from 12 minus 1 into 1, which will give us 11. And then we have further more options, 11 minus 2 into 2 and 11 minus 3 into 3. Again, we will stop here at 3 because after that it will be greater than 11. And like this, we will move ahead. And in 12 also, we were having like this only, 12 minus 2 into 2 and 12 minus 3 into 3, and what we got there 8. And like this we will make whole recursion tree, but I'm telling here about just one second level only. In second level is also not complete yet. So after completing this tree, like in this first option where we were using just 1, right? So when it will reach the base case, means when it is 4 minus 1 into 1, here I have taken 3 as a part of base case only. So when it will reach base case, then it will start returning, and each time it will return 1 as the count, that this is the count of the square number we are getting, that here it is 1 square number, then again and until it reaches the top where it will return 8, that we have covered total 8 square numbers in this particular option. Like this we will be covering here, where the minimum count out of all possibilities would be 3, and here I didn't count that what would be the minimum count out of all possibilities, so it would be something which is greater than 3. So when it will reach this particular number, then it will simply return this 8, 3 and whatever was third possibility, and out of this whatever would be minimum, then that would be returned as our answer. So this is what we will be returning in this. So this is how we will be making a recursion tree and just simply returning that particular number, which is our answer. Means basically we are required to return the count of the number, so that's why we are returning like this. Now I'm sure that something would you would have understand in better way and something not. So let me tell you this by coding itself. So it would be much better that what all I am talking about. Like this was the way we can think about this question in terms of recursion. Now, if there is recursion, then now it's the part that how we need to think about that recursive solution. So basically, when the thing comes to our mind that we want to solve it by recursion, then surely first thing is that the recursion should have a base case, a recurrence relation, option we are required to get for this particular recursive solution, and what is being returned at the end besides that particular base case, which is helping us to eliminate the infinite looping and so on, means conditions like that. So the base case, before going towards this base case, let's take that what should be recurrence relation. As we need to create breakpoints, that it whatever breakpoint would be there, its length should be a perfect square, right? So we are required to subtract the perfect square from a given number. So that's why a recurrence relation would be getting this particular n minus I into I as parameter, and this would be what our function would be repeatedly called, and we would be simply like at the end when we reach at the top itself, means the number itself, what we were doing, how we were checking that which option is best for us. For that we were required to check out that which is the minimum possible count for our answer. So that's why this recurrence relation simply includes minimum and whatsoever count we were storing in our previous, and we are comparing it with the present answer which we are getting now. And that present answer we are getting by creating breakpoints on our number line, and each breakpoint length is equal to a perfect square. So this is what we are doing in this particular recurrence relation. Now what options we are getting? Basically for getting those breakpoints, how we are checking for the options? Here we are getting options as per the number which is given to us, right? If we are and these options are being created by just this condition that I into I should be less than or equal to n. So this much options we will be getting. Like when the n value was 12, then I into I means the maximum possible value was 3, right? When 3 into 3 equals to 9, then only it is that number which is less than equal to 12. And after 3 there is none other number which is less than equal to 12. So that's why we are having 1, 2, 3, means we were having 3 possible options at the starting of our recursion tree, and that at each level these possibilities would start decreasing in itself. So that's why here every level is being dependent on this particular condition, means the options which we are getting because of this condition only. And what is being returned at the end beside the base case, that is our count itself, means at the end we are returning that whatsoever count is there, and that base case is basically n less than equal to 3, and at that point we will be simply returning our n itself. Now let me tell you that why I have chosen this n less than equal to 3 as base case. See, when we are having n equals to 1, then we have just one option, that is 1 itself, which need to be returned as the perfect square number. When n is equal to 2, then how many perfect square numbers we could return is 1 and 1, right? So that's why when n equals 2, then we need to return 2 as the answer. And when n is equal to 3, then again we have just these options, means we have just 1 as the perfect square which would be returned. So the count of this 1 would be 3. So that's why we are simply returning these numbers itself when they are simply less than or equals to 3, because there is no number which is a perfect square because the perfect square number starts from 4. 4 is that particular perfect square number because it is square of 2. And below that we have just 1 which is the perfect square. So that's why when n is less than or equal to 3 we are simply returning n as it is. And one more thing, why we are taking means one reason is this only, that n is there, means if n is itself as 1, 2 or 3, so that's why we are returning it as the perfect square. Means returning the count as it is. But one more reason could be not, but it is one more reason is there. Like whenever we face the condition like there is 13, so we are having 4 plus 9, or if by any chance we get a number like which we are having 9 plus 1, means let us take 10 only. In 10 we are having two perfect squares, so here we got 1, right? Means it will reach the base condition when it will encounter this 1, so here 1 would itself be returned. Or we encountered any other number in which if we add 2, means let us add a 2 and any other perfect square number, let us 4 be that, so it will make up 6, right? So in this case what we need to return, then 2 would be itself returned because 2 is further made up of 1 and 1, which is again a perfect square, means 1 and 1. So that's why this is the possible base case for our particular recursive solution. Now comes the part that when we were making that recursive tree, then there were a lot of conditions which were being repeated. So that's why it is being required to make our solution memoiz solution. So making a solution as memoiz, what we are taking is, now we are simply separated the main function and the recursive function. So here we have taken this tp, which is of the size n plus 1 and initialized with minus 1. And then we are simply passing this tp into this result function and n, which was the original number here. Now the whole recursive function is as it is, the way it was, that if n is less than or equal to 3, then we need to return n. But here what we are doing, here we are simply storing that particular number in this tp of n. And if tp of n is not equal to minus 1, because minus 1 was its initial value, and if it is not equal to minus 1, then it simply means that it is having some value other than minus 1. Then we simply need to return n, because at this moment what we are doing is we are simply reusing. That's why we simply need to return a tp of n, and then our count would be initialized with n. Why we are initializing it with n? The reason is that any number, even 12, 13, anything this would be there, the minimum possible count of squares squares which could be used to make that number is 1, right? So it will be 1 plus 1 up till 12 times, right? So this could also be the answer, but we require the best answer. So that's why we do this whole process. As the number itself is the best possible answer, one of the best possible, not the best, but one of the best possible answer to be submitted, so that we could get that the count of the squares which are being used to add up to that number. But now as we require the best answer, so that's why we are doing this process. We are simply checking that what is the minimum count which could be used. And now here we are again passing this tp and add that parameter, that n minus I into I in this particular n into our result function, and we are adding this one so that it could determine that this is the particular square number count, that whenever it will hit a base case, it will simply return this one as the count that now this is the one number which is the square of square, and it will return. And at the end we were returning count, right? But here we will be returning this way, dp of n equals to count. So this is how we will be doing the memoized solution for this particular question. Now comes the part that if there is recursive solution and we have memoized it, then surely there would be an iterative DP solution also. So now here's the part of iterative DP solution. For this iterative DP, I have taken that DP of n plus 1 and I initialized it with 0. If I wouldn't have initialized it, it won't be taking the values by this method, then surely it would be required to take values by simply push that method. So that's how I initialize with 0. So I simply value of there in previous model. So I simply select whole body DP with 0. At this moment, what we are taking when we apply this position, right? When we take this particular position, then at that moment, what is the minimum count we could have for making a particular number as a particular number means for making the one which is given as the input to us, for making that number and adding up to that particular number, how many square numbers would be required. So we are simply taking this at the particular position, means when 1 is there. So we will be checking the sign is there, so this particular loop, and we will take I is maximum of this one, right? Now plus the p of will be in that action I, this is 1, then to take equal to 1, this, now I'm going to take a 0, and what is only is the 0 cell, but now like 0, right? So now we will just then we will select the whole D and then point value of whatever was the it will be taken plus 1. I try to hold it. It would be able to with the minimum possibility of count which we put in particular block, then I n is having this particular go to the answer. And we are calculating for the previous number so that we could check for what possible counts could be taken when a number is at that particular position. But we had just 3 and we were 8 and a possibility is how we set this position. Right, so we will at this position. Here we were doing everything in the top down manner, but here we will be as we are doing in bottom up manner, so that's why the things are pretty much different. It is simply like we are building up the things to get our answers. And the space complexity. The solution will be space with the space is and here is from 1 to I. It will be taking for the half position only, and it will be simply as it is for the logarithm because it is dividing itself. So complexity will be for log. For the complexity would be log n only.